Hello, welcome to Lesson 9. In this lesson we will be talking about signs relating to the family. Speaking of family, the sign for family looks like this. This, if you recall, is the letter F. And so we start with pointer and thumb together and we make a circle and bring it out away from our body. And this movement you make groups with. So F is family, G is group, C is class. And so just as a general thing to remember that this can denote a group of something depending on how you start the sign. So family, family. Okay, ready for a question? Now you just learned the sign for family. Now I added a couple of new signs, but this one you should remember. It's a question. How many? The sign for people, if you make the letter P and you do counterclockwise circles toward yourself. So if you think about the way that a clock moves, and for me it would go like this, so for me counterclockwise, but think about that. So the circles come toward your body, and they're not huge. People. If I have one person that I want to refer to, person, person. People, person. The sign for in, out. In, out, out, in. So the hand shape is an O that you squish flat, a flat O hand shape. This is kind of like a C, just enough of a pocket so your hand can go in. So the question was, the sign for your is possessive, so it's palm open. It would not be a pointer. What that would mean, you. So you try it. So people, the sign for have, we talked about this in an earlier lesson, but it's a flat hand shape. It starts flat and it becomes a right angle. Fingertips touch the chest. Pointing at myself, thumb is not up. That's a mistake that beginners can make. Thumb is down. Do you remember this number? Not the number 3. 6. I said I have 6 people in my family. Person, person. So, did you understand what I said? This, if you recall, is the sign who. This can also be used, who. I think my habit is to use this one. Either one is correct. And when I point at the person, if I have these 3 signs, it would be that. Who is that person? And then I added the question mark ending. Who is that person? Children, it's as though you're touching the heads of small children. Children, it means more than one. Child is just one time. Child, children. Do you remember this? When I talked about the number 11, I talked about this. When you put it up by your brain or your temple, it's understand. Understand, yes. Understand, no. I do understand. I don't understand. So I said, I have 4 children. Did you understand me? Just asking for that clarification. Child, child. And I didn't move my lips because I want you reading the signs. That child, I haven't taught this, but by context, I'm wondering if you can understand. I was saying crying is crying. And this is a question word, why? That child is crying. Why? And if you were voice interpreting or telling someone what the signs meant, you would say, why is that child crying? Because in English, we typically don't say, that child is crying. Why? We don't speak like that. And American Sign Language is not in English word order. The sign for school is like this. Sometimes signs will be the same, so you have to depend on context or how it is being used to understand the meaning of the sign. This is school. That was a question. I'm saying the signs that I used were you go school, but you would voice it. Do you go to school? The sign for praise looks similar, and it depends on the context. If I'm in church and I say, I praise you, I'm looking up to heaven, and then I sign Lord, which is an L on the shoulder, down to the hip. So school and praise can look the same, so you really need to depend on the situation and the context to figure out, and then it's not so difficult to know which the correct sign is, or which the correct translation would be. So school. The sign for many is like this, which looks a lot like how many. So again, context. Versus okay, the first one was a statement. So my school has many people versus the question. How many people does your school have? So just varying the signs a little bit, it switches from a statement to a question. So part, again, of reading sign language is understanding the body language and the facial expressions. Looks, in terms of something looks like. Pointer, start at your chin and go around the face. So I'm starting at my right and going around. Something looks like something. Did you get it? That girl looks sad. That boy looks happy. In an earlier lesson, we talked about the signs for sisters and brothers, so we will review sister or sister, brother or brother. And the reason I'm showing you both is because you will see both. They're both correct. Just want you to be exposed to both so you would know the difference. I said, how many sisters do you have? Question mark. one possible answer. And I'm adding, I said, I have no sisters. And that last time I added a sign of disappointment, nuts, implying, I wish it was different, wish I did have a sister. I said, how many brothers do you have? Possible answer. I have 2 brothers. And the first time when I said, I have no sisters, small head shake no, to reinforce that it is an answer that the 0 is a negative. I have 2 brothers. I do have brothers, so I'm nodding my head just a little bit, yes, in the affirmative. Do you remember the sign for children? So I added the sign no, which is that right angle hand shape, fingertips are touching the side of my forehead. How many children does that woman have? Do you know? So that was lesson 9. A few new signs, so I encourage you to practice. So the new signs. Remember, the sign for remember, your thumb, the pad of your thumb touches your forehead and comes down and touches your fingernail. That is the sign for school, the next on the list. Family. Children. Looks. People. Again, I'm showing you that sideways so you can see it's the letter P, people. Good. Many. How many and many looks the same. So again, context is going to make the difference. Child. Child. Person. Person. Good. Practice, and I will see you the next time. Bye.